Welcome back to the Marlins here on OOTP 26. We are gearing up almost quite opening day here for us, the official opening day where the overseas one already happened. But we're getting closer to our opening day here, and we do have a waiver claim to go over. There was just a guy who was just too good to pass up. The Los Angeles Dodgers waived this guy. Edgardo Henriquez, who is 25, almost 26 years old, so he's past that 25 age cutoff I'm always talking about for the waivers and the Rule 5. Bit of an interesting player. That's probably putting it lightly. Very interesting player with 85 stuff potential, possible 85 fastball, 85 slider, 80 cutter, 75 curveball, 4-pitch mix. He already has like an elite fastball slider combo here with a serviceable cutter as a 50 rating. He's got 35 stamina. The movement is suspect right now. The control is as well quite suspect right now. And he also has extreme fly ball. He's a power pitcher. He can throw 99 to 100 and 1 for his velocity potential. Currently throws 98 to 100. He actually just literally a couple weeks ago, he successfully completed training to increase his velocity with the Dodgers, and then they waived him. So we claimed him. He's going to be a part of our staff here in our bullpen. Let's get the updated scattering report on him. You can see here the past 2 seasons, he's been in Oklahoma City for them, just tearing things up in their rotation. So I just thought he was too damn good to pass up, so we're claiming him. He does have no options, as you would expect, obviously, but we're hoping this guy can turn into a stud reliever, possibly even a starter for us if this control gets up. Who knows? Maybe just a really good multi-inning reliever. I would be plenty happy with that. And in order to make room for him on the 40-man, we did end up DFAing Jack Perkins. Unfortunately, just not going to make the team. I would have been totally fine going into the season with him as one of our relievers, but unfortunately, he was just like the only guy who was like a borderline guy who had no options. So I was just like, okay, we're just going to DFA you. Hope you don't get claimed, and maybe you come back at some point because we do like him. We like his outlook. Maybe I could have shopped him, but we DFA'd him. Let's just shop him quickly right here, see if there's any sort of value for him at all. Yeah, it's like the Padres would give us Edouard Julien, who is currently on waivers, I saw. Big fan of Edouard Julien, but not so much in this game. He just hasn't really panned out to be what I would hope he would be in real life. Or I should say what I hoped he would be in real life. Edouard Julien, when are you going to rule again? And you may also notice on here it says trade with Las Vegas, and that is because we have updated the Athletics to be in Las Vegas. They are now the Las Vegas Athletics. We take a look at their settings here. The Las Vegas Athletics, they're located in Las Vegas. We've changed their ballpark to just be the AAA Las Vegas ballpark. The only thing we've edited is that we just manually made the capacity from 10,000 to 30,000 because I don't really know if this actually plays a factor. I would imagine it does, so I don't want them being like completely screwed by playing in a 10,000 capacity ballpark, so we just put the number to 30,000, although obviously visually it's not going to look like a 30,000 capacity ballpark because it is just the Aviators ballpark, but still. You can see here some crazy park factors as you would expect from a Pacific Coast League ballpark. And then the other thing I did was I went in and I changed their market size to be a 5, which is average. It was 2, which is tiny, I believe. And just because obviously Las Vegas is a bigger market, I didn't want to give them something insane, so I just bumped it up to a 5, which, like I said, is average. And then also I wanted to talk about our current outlook here. We have the small market, but things are looking good for money-wise. We have a little bit of an 8.8% increase in our ticket prices, leading to a 48.9% increase in our season tickets, 29.7% on the attendance per game projections, and then the revenue per game is also up 40.5%. So business is good here in Miami. We also have all of our money. We have $30,000 in player dev. We have $15,000 in the draft budget. We have the max international amateur budget. And we have the max scouting budget at $27 million. So Just felt like that was our best course of action here. And then we still even have a little bit of spending money here for the trade deadline. And then, we get to the offseason, we can always take some of that out of the player dev, because I'm not always going to be rocking a $30 million player dev budget and a $27 million scouting budget. But for now, we are. Oh, wow, crazy. So our scout has just gotten his report back on Edgardo Henriquez, and he actually thinks that he is a 60 potential. So we just got a 60 potential reliever / starter. He's a 60 as a reliever, and as a starter, he's a 55 potential according to our scout. So we just got this guy for free, essentially, making league minimum off waivers. He has 75 days of Major League service time because the Dodgers are just never using this guy, apparently. Could possibly be a huge steal for us. And he thinks that he's just always pumping 100 plus. So this guy, complete just electric factory coming out of our bullpen here in Miami. Alrighty, end of 1 month here, and Isaac Paredes gets batter of the month in his first month as a member of the Marlins. And Ron Mauricio on a 4-game home run streak here, which is good to see because things have not gotten out to a great start. Also, I'm seeing here Tucker Biven just threw a no-hitter. Hell yeah. Tucker Biven out here in Pensacola chucking a no-no. Beautiful stuff. 13 Ks, 1 walk here on the 15th for him. Let's look at his games. Yeah, 9 innings, no hits, no runs, no home runs, 1 walk, 13 Ks, and 112 pitches. Solid outing from Tucker Biven there against the Columbus Clippers. Or they're the Klingstones? We really got to do something about the names in minor league baseball. I do like the colors. I like the peach. That's kind of cool. With the green brim, black. I mean, I like the unique color scheme. I like that. But they've been the Clippers forever, man. Come on. Also, they're in Double-A now. So who's the Guardians Triple-A affiliate? Wait, there's 2 Columbus teams? Is this a different Columbus? No, it's Columbus, Ohio. Trustmark Park for these guys. Do they play in the same ballpark? Huntington. There's 2 different ballparks in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. All right. So now I want to do a little quick check-in here because things have not gotten off to the best start here in April. You can see we're 12-16. Now, it's still obviously very early. Things can very quickly turn around here, as we've shown in the past 2 seasons here in Miami, but things are just not going well to start the season here. We look at the team stats overall. The offense is just the big problem. We are getting extra base hits, which is good to see. We're even slugging a decent amount, not striking out, stealing a lot of bags. The base running value definitely needs to be figured out. We're probably running into a lot of outs. If I had to imagine, we're playing good defense. That's good. But we're giving up way too many home runs. The bullpen's been shaky, not striking out anybody. So things need to get figured out here. All right, folks, another quick little check-in here. It is May 26th. We are still hanging around in the division. We haven't quite fallen out of favor here. The record is not great, but we're only 6.5 games out. Things can switch. We can turn things around. We've made a couple changes to the staff here. If we go to the major transactions, we optioned Skylar Hales and Peter Hubeck both to AAA because Skylar Hales was just absolutely sucking it up in 15 innings. He had just an absurd home runs allowed, so we sent him down to AAA. Peter Hubeck also had a similar issue, just a ton of home runs allowed, so we sent him down to AAA. And we called up Peyton Martin, who was performing very well in Jacksonville. So we rewarded him with a call-up. He has been solid. He's been fine in 4 2/3. The FIP not great, but the ERA good. He has given up a decent amount of home runs here, but hopefully he can get that under control as he gets more time. And then William Kempner also got called up, and he has just been fantastic in his 1 appearance that he's had. But when it comes to the hitting here, you can see we've got some guys who are starting to turn things around. Laura's on fire. Acosta's on fire. Tucker's on fire. One thing that has been worth mentioning is Dylan Head has not been what we would hope in center field. You would think this would be able to play center field, but so far he has not shown the ability to do that. Now, maybe he's just struggling in his first Major League appearance, his first Major League season. I'm hoping that's the case because there's no reason why this guy should not be able to play center field. But if he continues to not hit and not play center field, not play center field at an elite level, we might have to call somebody up and put him in AAA or something. But for now, we're going to keep rolling with him in center field. And you'll see here that a lot of our bats are starting to come around. Brooks Lee, he got off to a weird start where he was not great, but here in May so far, he has been tearing the cover off the ball. We've got Paredes. He's been good the whole season. Same with Ramirez. De Los Santos is doing stuff off the bench. We might start getting him involved more. I talked about Lara already, Acosta and Tucker. Mauricio, he has been, once again, horrible April, really good May for him. Caba's just been a bench player, has barely played. Gilbert's been decent off the bench. Vargas, I believe, is also a guy who has started to come around. Yes, he had like an okay April. He's been very good so far in May, and we're towards the end of May here. Dylan Head I talked about. Similar thing, horrible April, really good May. So the bats are starting to turn things around here. The bats are starting to figure things out. So you can see here we're coming off a 19-2 win over the Philadelphia Phillies. We had all these series losses, but then we just swept the Phillies at home. So we're hoping we can start to turn things around here. 19-2. I mean, look at all the hits. 3 hits for Paredes, Vargas, Lara, Acosta, 4 hits for Tucker, 2 hits for Head and Mack, who got the start at catcher that game. I mean, Mauricio doubled, Mack doubled, Paredes doubled, Lara doubled, Acosta doubled, Lara tripled, Head homered, Lara homered, Brooks Lee homered, Acosta homered, Paredes homered, just tore it up. Just tore it up against these guys. Ryan Weathers had a good outing. And that is one thing that has been good. The staff has been good. Mostly, Michael King has kind of been weird this season where he's kind of struggled. Bobby Miller also has been struggling, you could see here. But the rest of the staff has been decent. The bullpen, aside from the guys we sent down, have been good. So we're hoping the pitching can start to pick us up here as the season progresses. Yuri Perez is just giving up way too many home runs. Same with King. Christian Scott's giving up too many home runs as well. Eknis as well. So we might have to start looking into making some changes. Eknis, honestly, he might just get sent down right now, to be honest. Oh no! I have never seen this before. I have never seen the mid-season change from win now to neutral. I have never seen that. Holy hell. That's how poorly things are going here. We win the World Series, and now we're having the classic Marlins thing of like, I don't even feel like we blew up the team. I feel like the team is still mostly the same. Really, all we lost was Minaya and Luis Robert. And, like, I don't know. Just everybody's underachieving. We're giving up way too many home runs. Yuri Perez just keeps sucking. We've shuffled around the bullpen a ton. Right now we have Tyler Visa and Ocean Gabonia who have come up, and they've been good in their limited time. Gabonia was that Hawaiian guy we picked up from the Yankees. You can see here, very good in his limited time. And then Tyler Visa is a guy we picked up. Visa, I don't know how to actually say this guy's name, but we got him on a minor league deal after the 2026 season. He spent the first 2 years of this just like pitching a ton of innings in indie ball. And he's one of these guys who's like a personality class fan fave. He's a ground ball pitcher, decent controlled movement. So I was like, let's just give him a minor league deal. And he stuck around in our system. And I was like, fuck it. We're trying to limit home runs here. Let's call this guy up. And now he's in our bullpen. So age 33, almost 34, makes his major league debut. What was this guy's story? Drafted by the Phillies in the 32nd round in 2013. And now, all these years later, over a decade later, well over a decade later, he is in the big leagues. What a story for this guy. And we're just hoping we can get some sort of stability in our bullpen here down the stretch. And just in our staff, too, because our staff's giving up a lot of home runs. Christian Scott with a 1.6, Bobby Miller with a 1.7, Michael King's had a really weird year with a 1.4 home runs per 9. I think he's been slightly better as of recently. Yeah, June and July have been good for him. Obviously, only one start in July, but he got off to a really poor start to the season. But he started to calm things down and become Michael King again. Bobby Miller, he month by month, decent in April, unlucky in May. I mean, he's just been all over the place. Christian Scott, what's been his deal? Good start, really not great in May with the FIP, bad in June, and then yeah, just not looking great. So we even have to make some changes here. I'm not really sure what we would do because it's not like we have any like obvious candidates for guys who could come in here and start for us. Maybe we try some like follower opener stuff. But yeah, the pitching staff has been a problem to a point where I've never expected this. The defense is still really good. We're just giving up a shit ton of home runs. We're not getting any strikeouts. The rest of the stuff is still good. We're limiting walks. The BABIP's been great. We're only allowing the fifth least amount of runs, but we're just giving up so many home runs that it's killing us. And then on offense, we've tried to calm it down with the base running here, but we're still not great with the base running numbers, but we're still stealing a lot. I was doing a thing where I had a lot of people being on ignore team strategy, or like not. I had them on override, and I was like trying to steal a ton this year. But we've knocked that down like months ago, back to doing the neutral adjust to team strategy. And as we know, McCullough doesn't like to steal. We might even knock that down one more because we can't, or we actually can adjust that. Okay. So we might keep it like that. We might have it like that and just see how things go. But obviously the base running has still been a negative so far. But we're not striking out. The extra base hits have gone down, so we're not getting that anymore. But like we're not anything too horrible with the hitting. The hitting I feel like has actually been, I don't know. It's starting to come around. There are some things that have been disappointing. Agustin has not been as good, of course, now that we extended him long term. Paredes has been really good, though. He has cooled off a bit, but he's still been really good. Brooks Lee's just been terrible. He has a 301 OBP in the leadoff spot. We might have to take him out of the leadoff spot because he's been so bad with that position. Paredes is getting a ton of pitches per plate appearance. So is Dylan Head. So is Wilfredo Lara. Paredes might have to lead off for us, man. I mean, I don't really want to lead him off, but we might have to do that. Or we can go Vargas, perhaps, lead off. Or maybe Dylan Head lead off. I don't even know. But Dylan Head is another guy who's been weird. Because if we look at his stats, he's actually been kind of okay at the plate. He started to come around a bit more. Yeah, July has been bad, but May and June he was really good. And just defensively, he's not doing anything. Someone explain to me why this guy can't play center field. It makes no sense. And it's like we could theoretically call up Summerhill, who's not hitting in AAA, to a very bad level. And he is playing a really good center field, but he's not hitting at all. Judd Fabian is basically the same level of center fielder as Dylan Head is, which is, you would look at it and be like, oh, he's good. But maybe Judd Fabian's the move. But he's also mainly been playing left field in Jacksonville, which he has a 80 rating in, and he only has a 1.8 ZR. So I don't know what the deal is with some of these ZR ratings we're getting. But yeah, things are weird at the outfield defense. But even with that, we still have the best defensive efficiency and the fourth best zone rating. So the defense has not taken a huge hit for us this year, even with the center field going down with the departure of Derek Hill. That's the other guy we lost, was Derek Hill. But like I said, the defense has not really gone down, so it's not like Derek Hill's bat was keeping us afloat. And the chemistry is still happy. We still have a ton of good relationships with our coaches. We don't have any outspoken players. Things are just not performing up to par this season. Now, we are in second place, but we're behind the Washington Nationals, who have had this crazy year, way in front of everybody. And then everybody else is just kind of in a big mush here, 2 through 4. or 2 through 5 rather, these 4 teams in this mix. But like we're only 4 games out of the wild card. There are multiple teams in front of us, but like things could theoretically improve. You could see we still haven't had an above 500 month. Hope maybe June or maybe July is that month. But yeah, I mean I don't know. Things need to improve here. I don't want to sell at the deadline. Obviously, we're not going to be selling, so we're sticking with this team and just hoping things can change as the season goes on. Another thing I should mention is that Kyle Tucker is currently out. We've got a ton of minor league injuries. My goodness. That's another thing, was we signed Jonathan India to a minor league deal. He was hitting really well. I just thought his ratings were too good to ignore to not give a deal to. And if we needed bats, I was like, we could have theoretically called him up, but then where would he play? Because we have De Los Santos DHing right now. We have Paredes at first base, so where would he play? But even then, we can't call him up because he's tore his labrum. So, not great there. Oh, and I'm just now seeing this too. Kurt Thibault, our second-round pick last year, that really good starter we took, 5 rookie ball starts, and then bang, torn rotator cuff. The pitching luck, baby. This guy isn't really that interesting, but what the hell is this guy's name? I mean, we're looking like the guy in the Red Sox organization whose nickname is the Password. This guy's the Password 2.0. So Kyle Tucker is hurt, and we're currently running a platoon in right field where Drew Gilbert is playing against right-handed pitching as the left-handed bat, who is better against right-handed pitching, obviously. And he can hold his own in the corner outfield. He's not really hitting that great. His splits are actually slightly better against lefties in way limited sample size, but it's not like he's hitting very well for us. And then against lefties, it's Gabriel Gonzalez, who is not hitting anymore. He was when he first came up. Well, he is against lefties, it looks like. He is hitting against lefties, but he's getting some time against righties, as like, I guess, when he comes in and gets spot starts here and there. But he is hitting against lefties, not against righties, and then he's also just not good defensively. He's been really bad defensively, so we shall have to keep experimenting there. We only have 2 more weeks left of Tucker on the IL, but even then, it's not like Tucker was raking 93 WRC plus. He has been quite the disappointment with his signing. We still have 2 more years. They do go down $2 million each to $28 million next year, and then $26 million the year after that, but still, he has been quite a disappointment for us offensively. Luckily, he still holds his own defensively, but, we don't want a defense-first corner outfielder who is making $30 million basically every single season. And you look at his ratings and you're like, why is this guy not hitting? He should be able to hit, but he just doesn't. And you may be going, why don't we call up PJ Orlando, who won the Southern League MVP last season? Well, PJ Orlando's not hitting in AAA either, so why would I think that he's going to hit in the big leagues? You also look at his ratings, and he's really not developed to the point where I would trust these ratings in the big leagues right now. So he's not really an option for us. Peyton Eels could be, but if we call him up, where does he play? Where do we put Peyton Eels? We can't put him at second, that's where Brooks Lee plays. We can't put him at third, that's where Laura's playing right now. DH is De Los Santos, like I said. Paredes is first base. So if we call them up, who would we send down, and where would we play Eels? Caba's obviously not going to come down, even though he's been just dreadful at the plate in limited time. And then Vargas here, he's been hitting well for us. He's got a triple-digit WRC+. plus. He's been good with the plate. His potential's looking absolutely insane, looking like a guy we might want to extend long-term. But he's also been struggling in his first season here in the bigs defensively. He's got the 65 rating in left field, the 60 outfield range, and he's just kind of treading water in left field. Hopefully that goes up as his career goes along. But right now, he's not looking like a great fielder, so we have pretty poor outfield defense right now, which is not what you want in Miami. And it's not like that's affecting our pitching, though, because our pitching is giving up home runs. The outfield defense has nothing to do with the home runs. As we've talked about, the BABIP is still fine. Second lowest BABIP in the National League, and it's not like we're giving up a ton of hits either. We're not giving up a ton of runs. We're just giving up home runs. Oh, well, there we go. We got an 8-game streak with quality starts by Michael King. Not that I give a shit about quality starts, but there's something to hang our hat on with the pitching. And then we immediately followed up with a 9-5 loss to the Yankees. I mean, Bobby Miller does well, Jacob Miller does well, and then Visa gives up a 6 spot. And then Warren gets rocked too. I mean, Jesus, Visa was doing so well. You look at his games here. He was doing so well, and then he plays the Yankees and gets destroyed. Then he has one bad appearance, and now all of a sudden his whole line looks terrible. All right, folks, we are here. It is July 11th, which means it is time for the first-year player draft. We're going to go very quickly through how the team is doing because we've done a lot of check-ins here throughout this disappointing season. So just very quickly, team stats, things have not gone well here in July either. Looking like another month we're going to be like around 500, a little bit less than 500. And that month of April so far is just killing us with the record. And then, I feel like we could easily be like 47 win, like maybe 45 wins, something like that. A little less losses, closer to 500 if we just had a better April. But, alas, that's what happens. Even since knocking down our aggressive base running, we're still having horrible base running. Still stealing, even though I've knocked that down. We're not striking out a ton. The best at, not striking out, but nothing else is happening. We're not getting on base. We're actually slugging a decent amount. We have the 5th best WOBA, 5th best slugging, 6th best OPS, 4th best WAR, hitting a decent amount of home runs. But we're not scoring that much runs. We are scoring more than we're giving up, so we do have a positive run differential, barely. But the offense is just not, the team is just not performing, aside from that. So the defense is still good. We're still not walking anybody. We're still having a very good BABIP. We're still limiting hits and average and runs. But the bullpen ERA has been really bad. We're giving up way too many home runs. I mean, you just saw that at that game against the Yankees I showed where the bullpen was just killing us. I'm to the point where I'm like, hey, man, we might even just go like Emmanuel Clase stopper and just have like 3 stoppers, give them all the innings, and just have the rest of these dudes as like depth in the bullpen. Clase is not the greatest stopper with 25 stamina. Henriquez could do it. He's been good for us. Keegan Akin's been good for us, and then Will Warren's been okay. And then Visa was good for that one, except for that one appearance, and Gabonia's been good. But then Miller's given up. He's been okay. Perez has given up way too many home runs. So I'm to the point where we might just do something like this, where we go like 3-headed stopper of these guys, give them all the innings. All the innings go to these guys. High leverage, boom. Make him the secondary closer. And then we go Will Warren, middle relief, use more often stopper. And the rest of these guys are just kind of here, doing their thing, and see if we can just sort of get most of the innings to these 3 guys and hope that helps the bullpen. I think we might try that for the rest of the run here. And then taking a look offensively, we do still have Kyle Tucker. He has 4 days left on his injury. Max Acosta just sprained his knee. He has 4 weeks left on that. So now we're rocking and rolling with Kaba at shortstop, who's been just terrible at the plate. His negative ZR has to do with center field, but also he's not playing well at shortstop either. Even with the 75 range, 70 double play, 75 errors, 60 arms, 75 shortstop rating. So hopefully that goes up now that he's playing there every day. We called up Peyton Eels to be like a depth guy. De Los Santos still hitting. Ramirez has been kind of whatever. Paredes is been dropping down here. If we look at his batting splits, really good April, May, June was whatever. And I guess I don't know why he's going down. So he's still been really good. He's still been really good. Brooks Lee just hasn't ever really put it all together. He's just kind of up and down. Bad April, decent May, bad June, really good July so far. Wilfredo Lara, I believe, is like the same sort of thing, where he's just kind of been like whatever the whole season. But he's leading off for us because he's got like the best walk rate on the team and one of the best OBPs. Or I guess not so much OBP anymore, but he is seeing a lot of pitches. Is that why I put him there? He was seeing a lot of pitches. Maybe Vargas we might lead off Vargas. We might go something like this. Vargas lead off, do something like that. Or maybe even Paredes lead off because he's got that high OBP and he's seeing a ton of pitches. So yeah, we're going to go like this. We're going to go Paredes, then Vargas, then Ramirez, then De Los Santos, Lee, Lara, and then the rest is whatever the hell. We're still rocking that platoon. We sort by WAR here, and you can see the bats just really aren't doing anything. Nobody's breaking out except for De Los Santos, and Paredes have been good. Ramirez, like I said, has been down this season. Vargas has been good enough for a rookie, but it's not like he's carrying the team. Dylan Head is slumping. Brooks Lee has not broken out. Lara has not broken out yet. Drew Gilbert's been like whatever. Gonzalez has been fine enough against lefties, I guess. Caba's just now starting to get a thing. Ronnie Mauricio has been bad once again. He might be on the way out. He does have one more year at $3 million, so we might be looking to either trade him maybe this offseason or just not even look to him be a starter from the get-go and just give De Los Santos that time at DH from the get-go. He is going to be in arbitration with quite a big spike this offseason, so we'll have to figure that out. Everything's just a mess. It is just a mess. Offensively, pitching-wise, we're just scrambling, trying to do stuff. And, hopefully maybe scrape in as a wild card here because we don't want to miss the playoffs after just winning the goddamn World Series the previous season. And then even just looking at the position rankings here, these are league ranks. These are not National League ranks. These are league ranks. Brooks Lee is the 4th best second baseman in the league. Lara, they have as the top 5 third baseman in the league. We have Clase. All these ratings are good, but the team is just not performing. It reminds me of last year's Padres in real life, where you just look at the roster and you're like, why aren't you guys good? Oh, and just to show the standings from like an actual perspective here, currently we've even dropped down the wild card, so things are not looking good. Even more so, we were like sitting somewhere here. We've been on this L2 4-6 in our last 10, and we've dropped down all the way towards the bottom of this, 7 games out of the wild card. I mean, we're going to need like a miracle here to make a run to the wild card. You look at the expanded standings. Plus 13 run differential, which is better than some teams who are leading. The Angels are leading the West with a minus 11 run differential. We have a plus 13, which is better than the Phillies and Mets. It is better than the Reds, who are in second place. It's better than, okay, the West is insane, but we're not the worst team. We are minus 5 on our Pythagorean. We're looking like the Red Sox out here, 8-16 in one-run games. Figure it out, damn it! Terrible on the road too, just brutal. But this is we'll have to check in this as the pre-All-Star and post-All-Star. We're gonna need like a major post-All-Star swing for us to really make a run here, and that's what we're hoping for. But now, let's hop into the first-year player draft here in 2028. We have the 30th overall pick, because we had the 3rd best record in baseball last season, at least I think that's what it was. That makes sense. I know it's obviously some teams have, like the Pirates do have a compensation pick, so they have 2 first-round picks this year because they failed to sign their first year, or the first-round pick last season. And just quickly looking at our mock draft, we are projected to take Jason Surface, a catcher, 30th overall, who can't catch. Probably not going to take him, to be honest, if I'm honest. Don't love the gap power. And also he's a catcher who can't catch, and he can't play the outfield. So, useless defensively. And then we also have a supplemental round, first-round pick here because we lost Sean Manaea. And that is Antonio Hernandez, who is a slap-hitting second baseman. Definitely not going to take him either. So here we are, first overall. To the Kansas City Royals, they take Brooks Rothwell, this crazy-looking high school pitcher who is committed to Arizona State. Really good personality class, as I accidentally back out. But the thing about him is that he's already fragile, and he's 19. So, this guy looks like he could be like a generational pitcher, like the best pitcher of all time type stuff if all this develops. But fragile, so they're running the risk there. Another thing I should mention is that there's actually a Chinese guy in this draft class, Bullet Jack. Born in China, grew up in Texas, apparently. Groesbeck, Texas, or Groesbeck, something like that. Committed to Missouri State. I thought that was interesting that this guy was in the class, but he's not going to be on the board for us, I don't think. So if we just go auto draft till our pick, he went to the White Sox, 9th overall. We go down to the sortable list here, And we have all players, and we do still have a bunch of 80 potential guys here. John Adcock, a slap-hitting catcher. Not interested there. Our scout thinks that we should take John Adcock. I disagree. Joel Cost, though, this guy is interesting. He's durable. He's got a really, really good bat. Definitely more of a borderline corner outfielder for us. The 50 range is kind of not great. We could probably play him at first if we taught him that. But I mean, this bat is like good enough to DH at the major league level if it develops with the 55 BABIP, the 60 avoid K, and then 70 power and I with 75 power and this speed profile, line drive hitter. He's probably the top of our board right now. There is a reliever who looks like he could be in the bigs like by the end of the season. I'm not going to take that guy here, obviously. Another reliever who also looks like he could quickly make it to the big leagues. Out of St. Cloud State. Also not going to take a reliever here. This guy is interesting. High school starter, high leader adaptability, low financial ambition. Looks like he could be a really, really, really good starter. Now, obviously, he is a high school starter, so he would take it quite a while to develop. And, our luck with pitchers, just how it goes. And just how with pitching goes in general with developments. Velocity potential 100 plus as well. Already throwing 94 to 96. Could be an option. Donovan Elliott. I don't love the avoid K or the gap power. Joe Owens. Another high school guy who I prefer the other guy over him. Then we got a college guy too. Honestly, I kind of if I'm going to take a pitcher here, I honestly kind of prefer the college guy just because he's closer to the big leagues. OSA thinks he's an 80. He has had some drops, but he has the potential to be an ace. He's closer to the big leagues, so he has like less time to just get absolutely royally screwed up developing. Where like obviously the higher upside is this guy who looks like he could be like a generational pitcher. But is he going to develop? Yeah, he should rank among the best starting pitching prospects in any organization, as you would expect. He's had a bunch of minuses, which we don't love. Don't love that. It looks like he's actually gone down. Yeah, his overall's gone down. I guess that maybe that's just the scouting accuracy. And then the current stuff and overall rating. Yeah, I guess it's the current stuff. There's also this guy, Brian Flores, who has a really interesting bat. We know we all know I love the high BABIP contact guys with 80 gap power too. High adaptability work ethic. Could be a decent second baseman. But I definitely like Joel Cost more as a bat. So if we go bat, it's going to be Joel Cost. If we go pitcher, it's down to either Xavier Robinson or Trevor Whitney. So there's Trevor Whitney, Xavier Robinson. You compare these guys. And, yeah, I mean, Robinson could be an 80 control guy with 60 stuff and 55 and 60 movement, whereas Whitney's only going to be like a 55 control guy with 80 stuff. Are these comparable players like what they are right now and not their potential? So, like, he's comparable to a guy who pitched 2 innings in 1918 because they're probably comparing it to these ratings and not these potential ones, I believe is how that works. Also, one of these guys might still be there. So if we take Whitney here, Robinson might still be there in our compensation pick. We have to go with the highest upside. So I think we're going to go Whitney here. Whitney's going to be our guy. We're taking him. We're going to meet his demand with the 30th pick. And then we're going to go one by one here. Milwaukee. Oh my God. They immediately take Robinson, of course. Of course. So he goes to Milwaukee. And then Baltimore goes Donovan Elliott. Minnesota goes Josh. Who the fuck is this guy? Okay, they take this guy. Boston then takes Joel Cost, and now we're on the clock. So our hitter that we were looking at goes one pick before us to Boston. We do get Whitney. Hopefully that was the right choice. That Brian Flores bat is still here. He's an option. Our director thinks that we should take John Adcock. I disagree. I do not think this guy is anything special at all. The 50 gap power is just not an elite enough thing for me to be like, oh, this guy should be somebody we take. He does have 60 framing and is a high leader as well, but yeah, I don't think we want to do that. There is the other high school pitcher here, Joe Owens. We could just go back-to-back high school pitchers here. That's very, very high risk, though. Very high risk. Best college guys here are those two really good relievers. And then this first base bat who looks like he could be interesting. Big guy, Doodles, Joe Doodles White from Oklahoma State. Big time power. Also has some avoid K potential. Fly ball hitter. We have struggled finding like a serious home run hitter in our lineup, and this guy could be the option. He could be the way to go, especially since we're not committed long term to Paredes. Assuming that he opts out after this season, and even if he doesn't, we're probably not committed like super long term to him. De Los Santos, who knows what his deal is going to be a season from now. So I don't think we want to go back-to-back high school pitchers. I just don't think that we want to do that. Brian Flores could be. I think it's either down to Flores. I don't think. I mean, this guy's all glove or all bat, and if we're gonna go all bat, I think we want a guy who's more of a sure thing, like Joe White would be, closer to the big leagues. There's also this guy who's got an interesting bat. He's an extreme development risk. Don't love that. Who is that one guy that I saw? This dude. He's probably going to be around, though, but this guy's interesting. Is it because his name is crazy? Maybe. But also looks like he could be a decent bat. But not at this point in the draft. So I think we're leaning Joe White. I don't understand why this guy is an 80 grade potential. Is it because it just has the 60 framing? It's got to be because of the framing. I mean, I guess the 80 BABIP, but like... He's never gonna. I guess I don't know. It's just the fact that he has no power, he has no pop to his bat, and he's like a Luis Arraez level bat at catcher. I guess that is kind of intriguing, but maybe we do take Adcock. I'm kind of talking myself into like a Luis Arraez bat at catcher with 60 framing. Yeah, fuck it, we're doing it. John Adcock, we're taking him. We are going to meet his demands. Boom, that's our compensation pick. We move things on to our next pick. And Joe White is not there, but that high school pitcher is. Interesting. As well as this college pitcher who is fragile. I think it's down to either we take the high school pitcher with the high potential, who, you know, very well could be just, he throws like one rookie ball start, blows at his arm, or he gets one development update, and he's all of a sudden not looking good. And even then, he's probably still not going to be ready by the time he's like, until he's 24, so he's super far away. Or we could go Bobby Womack, who is fragile, and already, okay, then never mind, the BABIP is already not going to go above 45. So I think it's either Joe Owens, Bob Higgins, or Luke Miller. And I'm kind of tempted to go with the three true outcomes here. 80 power, 85 eye. That could be very interesting. Very interesting as a fly ball pole hitter. Very intriguing to me. Yeah, so I think it's down to either Bob Higgins or the high upside starter, who's a high school guy. Man, another tough one. Another tough one, folks. OSA thinks he's way lower, not that I really care about that much. Recent scouting has his potential going down to be a premier first baseman. Very disciplined eye. Among the best in the league at drawing walks. Prototypical cleanup hitter. We're taking Bob Higgins. Bob Higgins is our guy. We're taking him. Boom. We're taking the bat. Move things on. Joe Owens is not there anymore. We do have this guy, interesting looking bat, never going to strike out, has good enough BABIP, gap power, and eye, but he really doesn't have a position. He's like a first baseman. Our scout thinks we should take Baker. What a fucked up way to spell Baker. You can just tell this guy was born in 2009 with a name like that. I'm kind of tempted to go with like a college reliever here. If we go college players, we look at the arms, and we've got a couple college relievers here who could be like fast track guys to the big leagues here. Bird, we don't love his BABIP. The rest of the stuff that looks really good though at a UNC Wilmington. Go Seahawks. We've got DeLuca, Kevin DeLuca, lefty at a Columbia. Once again, has a bit of a suspect BABIP, but the rest of the stuff is looking good. And he has 35 stamina. Bird has 35 stamina. This Rosser guy has 40 stamina, good personality. He's a high school guy, though. Okay, so he's a high school guy. But this Paul Martin guy, only 30 stamina out of Bryant University, and he looks like he could be pretty solid. He's only going to have 45 control, but he looks like he could have a crazy curveball cutter mix, 80 grade stuff, good movement, home runs allowed, and a BABIP above 45. He's highly loyal, has good baseball IQ, he's really good at holding runners. I'm kind of tempted to get Paul Martin, not to be confused with the former New Jersey Devils and Pittsburgh Penguins defender. Wasn't he on the Sharks too for a bit? I want to say he was in the Sharks too. That sounds right. I want to say he went and like linked up with DeBoer when he was in San Jose. But anyways, that's different sport, different guy. But Paul Martin's kind of who I'm leaning here. I think that's the way we want to go. He's a 35 overall. He's a 35 overall. 35 overall. Oh, so even this guy's a 35 over, but he's like, yeah. No, I think we still prefer Paul Martin. Although he has been getting rocked around in the Dev League. But I still think he's the preferred. Because this guy's home runs allowed is only 20, and that kind of scares me off, makes me think it's never going to develop. And he only has 20 stamina. He's also only 19. Yeah, I think Paul Martin is who we are leaning taking here. Because none of these other guys like really stand out as somebody I would want to take. Really, the only one is the Avinson Teague guy, who's like an interesting, like possible first base bat if all this develops. But I think we're going to take Paul Martin here in the third round and just hope he can make his way to the big leagues quite quickly. We're going to take him, third round, Paul Martin, move things on. And that guy is still there, the guy they wanted me to take last round. Our scouting director thinks we should now not take him and instead take this guy, Craig Larson, who looks pretty decent. Soft-tossing lefty, sidearm lefty, committed to Oregon State from Washington. Really good stamina, hold runners. He's loyal, but he has bad adaptability and work ethic. Not really usually what I go for. This guy's interesting. College guy out of Canada from Quebec, went to a Ontario college. 70 range, looks like it's more so as like a third or second baseman. But line drive hitter, high gap power, high BABIP, avoid K. Intriguing. Maybe not here, but intriguing for sure. This guy is intriguing too. Once again, maybe not here, but a little bit down the line. There's some guys in the next couple rounds that I like. Man, if this was the NFL draft, I would be trading down. Give me like 3 picks in the 5th round. Folks, I think we have found the reincarnation of Dan Ugla. But with way more walks. I don't remember Dan Ugla being a walk guy. I feel like he was more just like a swing and get a shit ton of home runs guy. But this dude could absolutely, and maybe not, the 50 range. He could be a really good first baseman, maybe like a borderline second baseman. Really good power eye, BABIP combo. He's going to strike out a ton. He's not going to hit for a lot of doubles, but interesting player. Also from Texas Tech, Wreckham. Honestly, I like this Kashmar guy, and I like this Christian Phillips guy. And this guy is really interesting too. Aiden Smith could play you like a really good left field. I would never play him in right with that arm. But I mean, like 85 stealing ability with 80 gap power, 50. I mean, this guy is interesting as hell. There's a Palatine in New York. No, had no clue. Had no idea. Apparently, the Brewers took him in the 3rd round last year. Now he's dropped down here into the 4th round, and doesn't even look like he's going to go here. Am I crazy for liking this guy and the other guys we talked about? For liking Aiden Smith, liking Christian Phillips, liking Bob Cashmar way more than I like. Is this Bogan guy? This Bogan guy is interesting too. I like all these guys way, way more. Even this David Ayers guy, he's kind of interesting too. I like all those guys way more than I like Advanson Teague. Am I crazy? Am I out of my mind for thinking that? Like, we compare Teague to Ayers. Like, I guess it's the contact that's giving him the edge. Yeah, so, like, I would say he's better than Ayers. Bogan. I mean, the gap is kind of making me like Bogan. And then the defense also, you have to consider that Teague is just like a first baseman. And this Bogan guy could give you like a really good second base, third base. So you gotta factor that in. So I think Bogan, we like Bogan more than this guy. Cashmar. I think we like Cashmar's bat and defense more than this guy. Although the power is definitely... Okay, so Teague has the power, but Cashmar can give you, like, you get a bit of speed profile too. He's going to give you a possible good rating in these other positions too. First, second, third, short. I would never start him at short, but he could give you a really good second or third. So I think I like Cashmar more than I like him because he's got the BABIP and the gap to make up for the lack of power. So I like Cashmar more than him. I think I like Phillips more than him because they have similar bats. You know, only 5 more BABIP and gap from Teague than Phillips, but he has better eye, and then he also has, like, the left field defense, doesn't he? Yeah, he could give you, like, a really good left and right field. Yeah. So I think we like Phillips more than Teague, too. I think that's a little bit more borderline, but... And then Aiden Smith was the other one we were looking at, who... The BABIP is not great. It's the gap, power, speed combo that's really making me like, Aiden Smith, huh? And then also the left field defense, was it? Yeah, left field defense. So I don't think we would take Smith here, but I think it's like... It's Cashmar and Bogan. I think it's Cashmar more than Teague. Here he is. Bob Cashmar. We're taking him here round 4. Meeting his demand. We're moving things on to round 5. And the other guy we were looking at he's not there anymore. But Ayers is still here. Bogan is still here. Okay, so Aiden Smith went. That's unfortunate. I was very interested in him. But we still have Bogan and Ayers. So Bogan has bad personality, but can give you a really good second and third. Whereas Ayers has really good personality and can give you a slightly less good second and third. Probably more so just a third, to be honest. But his bat might be better. And he has the durability. He has... I guess it doesn't show durability on this page. So Ayers has durability. They both have durability, so they both have durable. And then if you compare them, I would say Bogan has the edge with the bat because he has like basically similar contact. Really good. He has 5 better gap, and then 10 better power for Ayers, but then 10 better eye for Bogan. Bogan's like more developed because Ayers is a high school guy. Better speed profile from Ayers. And then defensively, Bogan's got the edge. Chris Bogan is our guy. Out of the University of Delaware, go Blue Hens. Bang. That's our 5th round pick. We move things on to the 6th round. And Ayers is no longer here. There's still some 60s. These college closers are still here. As well as this guy who's got an interesting bat coming out of high school. Also, this guy is interesting. I noticed this guy earlier. Crazy, like, elite home run suppression control potential, which would really play up the lack of his stuff and really good pitches, because he can just really pinpoint that shit. Lefty, finesse lefty, the ultimate finesse lefty, but he's a reliever. I kind of like him, though. I'm not going to lie. We also got this really good power catcher who's not a catcher, but is a good outfielder. So this guy's interesting, too. Has a shit ton of swing and miss, but he's got a seriously good power bat. Mike Skinner could be a possible option for us. Matt Carter is a possible option. Big gap power, decent power, never going to strike out either. Dennis Clark, we already looked at as a high school bat. He's also low scouting accuracy, so we don't really know anything about him. And the other thing about TJ Griffin here, low development risk, ground ball pitcher. I like that. Another good, like, 3 true out, but he's more than a 3 true outcomes guy, because he's got gap, he's got eye, he's got BABIP, but he's going to strike out a ton. And he can give you really good outfield. David Hall's very intriguing, but he's also a 50, so he's probably still going to be there. As well as this Bob Hendrickson guy. He's probably still going to be there too, if I had to imagine. And I gotta be honest, I'm tempted to take some of these college closers, even though they have 45 BABIP. But at this point, I mean, TJ Griffin to DeLuca, I think I like TJ Griffin more. I gotta be honest, I think I like TJ Griffin more. And then him compared to Bird, was it? Yes, Bird. I think I like TJ Griffin more. We're taking him. Fuck it. I like this guy. We're taking him. TJ Griffin, welcome. You're the 6th round pick. Boom. Move things on to round 7. These guys are still here. Another college reliever from Austin P, who's like a single inning guy. He's interesting, though. This guy is, too. So there's definitely some interesting college relievers here. 100%. But then we also have David Hall, who we really like. Adrian Groen, who I think is interesting. Did I see an Illinois-ass town? Hawthorne Woods. There you go. That's an Illinois-ass town right there. Although I will say it's pretty Illinois, but it would be more Illinois if it was just like River Woods, Forest Woods, Deer Woods, Elk Woods, Whitetail Woods, something like that. Hawthorne, still pretty Illinois, but not quite enough. This guy's got a big bat, big power potential, but he's not a catcher. Doesn't really have any positional home. Chris Stringfield, no, he's too slappy. Yeah, he's first baseman. Logan Wheelcock. Oh, I thought it was Logan Wheelcock. It's Logan Wheelock. Wheelock? Logan Wheelock? Something like that. Also a guy who has no positional home. He's just a first baseman. Kind of interesting. I think we're gonna go Mike Bird because of the combo of he could be really good with a good personality class. So we're gonna go Mike Bird. Taking him. Move things on round 8. Caleb Lynn's only a 1-inning guy. We prefer the guy who can go multi, so we're gonna go Willoughby. Bang. That's our 9th round pick. We still got dudes here. Now we're gonna take Carrier. Bang. Caleb Lynn's gone. The lefty's still there. He doesn't have great BABIP, though. This guy's here. Chris Williams. I think we just want to take this guy here. Loyalty, work ethic. Really good. Yeah, Chris Williams is our guy here. We're taking him. That's 11 rounds. I mean, we're cooking here, folks. Alrighty, so we have gone through and finished the first-year player draft here. I believe we left off after taking Chris Williams here in the 11th round. And then from there, in the 12th round, we took Jason Erickson. Interesting high school outfielder, 60 BABIP, 65 power, 55 eye, 60 range, 65 arm. Ton of swing and miss, but interesting enough bat at that point in the draft. Then in round 13, we took that non-catcher who was here, Ricky Freshour, something like that. High work ethic, low financial ambition, big-time power, durable. Felt like taking a swing on him, so we did. Round 14, we took TJ Sable, who looks like he could be crazy if he gets some control luck here. Out of Wayne State College, he is from Minnesota. 70 stuff, 65 movement, 70 home runs allowed, an 80 grade possible fastball, curveball potential. We just really need this control to get lucky somewhere along the line, whether that's DevLab, whether that's TCR, whether it's just accepting the fact that he's going to walk the farm and just going to be nasty. We'll have to see. But 45 potential, this type of stuff at that point in the draft was just easy to take him there. Round 15, we took Will Miller, a high school pitcher from Lakeland, Florida. High adaptability, work ethic, low greed, ground baller, high control, decent control, decent movement. Thought he was worth taking a shot on. Only a two-pitch guy, so probably more leaning reliever at the moment, but we shall see. Also a lefty side armor. Side armors tend to have pretty exaggerated splits, so we'll see if he turns out to just be like a lefty-dominating guy, but we'll see. And then we have round 16, we took Mark Rigney, another high schooler. Decent stuff, control, fastball slider mix, high baseball IQ. Took a lot of pitchers, late rounds here. Gabe Jackson, 45 potential, high school starter, well-rounded stuff. Who knows what happens? He's a 17th round pick. Round 18, we took Jesse Clark, another guy with horrible control but good stuff, home run, 3-pitch mix here. Who knows what happens? Extreme fly ball, though, we don't love that. Round 19, we took another guy with big stuff, just taking swings on guys with like one really good skill here. And this guy with 85 stuff, 85 fastball, 80 slider, 75 curve, 65 change potential was too good to pass up, even as an extreme fly ball guy at this point in the draft. And then in round 20, we took Luke Garreau, a New York, I'm assuming that's a New York high school. It's a New Jersey high school, okay. So New York, New Jersey guy, round 20, high schooler, throws hard, decent outlook here. Who knows what happens? It's a round 20 pick, folks.